Good morning, everyone. I'll just call this meeting to order. If we could, please, let's stand in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amy, if you could do roll call, please.
Keisha Johnner.
Here.
Steve McCombs.
Here.
Jim Mueller's absent.
Entertain a motion for today's agenda.
Move to approve on the agenda.
I'll second, sorry.
McCombs.
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye. On to communications. Any communications? Or, it's Monday is a holiday, is that correct? The courthouse, so the courthouse. And then those that, we don't, how do we use this? It's a phrase. The courthouse is closed, but some of the offices are open, so 24-hour services such as, sheriff's department, and road department if needed, so. On to public comments. This is the portion of the agenda during which we can hear from public that are on items not below. If you have a public comment, this is now the time to come and speak at the podium. Is there any public comments? Anything on that? None. On to consent agenda. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve today's consent agenda.
A second.
Johnner.
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Moving right along, we're on to business. Item number 1 is a public hearing, a proposed zoning or map ordinance change 2026-1. Missy.
Yes, so this is, this request is to convert an existing granary slash barn to an overnight or a party barn event. We call it an event barn. Per our ordinance, it's would go from the current A1 zoning to commercial ag restricted for 55.24 recreation or a public and private event centers, banquet hall, party barn. This is a 30x40 current 30x40 structure that's going to have an addition with a kitchen, pantry, or restrooms and storage. It would allow for 75 to 100 people. There was a previous variance to allow what would be the required setbacks of this space. So this would be an allowed use within our current A1 or current agricultural land use plan. This has gone through, this would be the 3rd public hearing. So it went through the variance public hearing. It went through the zoning commission public hearing on January 20th. It did get it passed 4-0. We had one member that was gone. We did have one neighbor with some comments that were addressed. There was no one present at the actual meeting. So we have the actual legal description is the proposed parcel F, and we call it the proposed parcel F. This actual parcel F has not been approved and would not be approved unless the rezoning is approved. Commercial ag does allow for the 2-acre net minimum, which is smaller than our 3-acre net minimum in A1 zoning. Therefore, we wouldn't approve this until such time the commercial ag is approved. Again, the request and it would also have an accommodation of a loft or what we call a cabin in the current barn above. So this would be used for just a small overnight accommodations, just one single loft. So, and I've also included in your packet the kind of the site plan, the request, again, through the variance process and the rezoning process, it was given its approval by the county road department, county engineer, gave his approval of the 14-foot variance, request, which sets the setback at 36 feet, which is more than what would be required in A1, but less than what's required in the commercial ag at 50 feet. This is serviced by a county gravel road. It does set approximately between 5 and 6 miles by gravel road outside of the city of Pella. Mr. Bailey has decided to remodel. A lot of this is because he does have a very large family. And he wants to spend a significant amount of money to accommodate his large family, but he does want the ability to be able to rent it out. That's why we're going through the commercial ag to the rezoning process and give him that ability to rent it out. The closest neighbor,
I'm gonna ask your closest neighbor. now.
closest neighbor is 810 feet, and that is Mr. Bailey's son. Let's see, we went over the current land use plan is agricultural, which does allow for commercial ag. Mr. Bailey's been working through the process with environmental health on the septic system. They have a tentative site laid out. Of course, that's always subject to change, but that's something that they'll have to work with environmental health. As far as the exact location would have to be subject to the approval of Marion County Environmental Health Regulations and Chapter 69. There are plans for food preparation on site and eventually catering services. The venue is not looking to be open and have set hours. They're looking at possibly 8 to 10 events a year. Most of these would be family non-commercial events. So not something that's going to be open every weekend and have set hours and be a high traffic event area. We are looking to do a commercial ag restricted only for the commercial event space only. So there's many event spaces that can go, or many uses that can go into commercial ag, and that's why we've talked with Mr. Bailey, and we feel that it's only feasible to do a restricted rezoning for the commercial event space only. This would be, and I've given you the details again, 30 by 40, 1,200 square feet currently. It does show on the site plan that it's going to go it's going to go up to 37.6 by 46, the overall space. We've got 21 parking spots with a 1 ADA parking spot. He does have plenty of room for overflow parking. That would definitely, he's well aware, keep it off of the county road. There's absolutely no allowance for parking on the county road. At any time, there may be an allowance that they would have to use tents for, if they had a larger event. Upon approval of this, there would be a separate 911 address assigned, and at that point, then parcel F would be separated out and it would become a separate parcel. So this would be the public hearing, and the first, we would request the first reading at the next meeting. Then we would have request in the second reading and the final site plan approval.
This is the public hearing portion. Is there any public comments? Seeing none online? In the room? Entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Item number 2 is ordinance 2026-1. This would be approving the first reading of the proposed zoning map ordinance 2026-1. Missy, I appreciate the presentation. The couple questions I do have is, there's nothing limiting them to not to have more than you said,
Correct.
8 to 10.
Correct.
So, the question I would ask is to our county engineer. There you are. Tyler, how would that, I mean, the road use? I know that you checked off on this, but if there was more than 8 to 10 events a year, I mean, it's a gravel road.
Yeah, I don't anticipate any number or volume impacts that would be substantial enough to warrant anything here.
And are you Mr. Bailey?
Yes,
Thank you for coming this morning. Mr. Bailey, obviously, the closest neighbor is your son, is that my understanding?
yes.
And so, any other neighbors around on the other side, any concerns, I mean, at all that, you know?
Not
traffic
that I'm
wise?
aware of.
Okay.
I've
And-
had one neighbor, my son and his family are very supportive, they're gonna benefit from it. Another neighbor that was notified asked if he should come to support me at the public hearing. I didn't think it was necessary. I've not heard anything negative.
We did have one neighbor stop, ask some questions about traffic. Obviously, that was one of the, and there are 2 routes to the Bailey property, per gravel, so. You know, depend on, not everybody's gonna go the same route, so, yeah, not all the impact's gonna go. It's not, yeah, not all the traffic is gonna go by the same route, so.
Okay.
The neighbor that stopped actually would probably be the least traveled way that they would go via coming from Pella, so. I guess the other thing that I would add is that, you know, Mr. Bailey, we talked about signs, he may later place a sign, he knows that there are, sign ordinances in place, and then additional lighting may later be determined. He does have a nice row of trees, as you can see from the pictures, that is a buffer from the gravel road. And then he's well aware that all other state and county permits and licenses apply, so he would be subject to any licenses that are necessary through the state as far as food licenses and.
Steve, do you have any questions?
No, I haven't.
No further questions? Entertain a motion for first reading of ordinance 2026-1.
I move we approve the first reading of ordinance 2026-1.
I'll support.
McCombs,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye. Item number 3 is resolution 2026-23. This is the joint city county agreement with the city of Pella regarding amendment number 2 to the Lely Urban Renewal Plan. Good morning. Mr. Nardini is with us this morning, and I appreciate that. City manager of Pella. Board before us is the Lely Urban Renewal Plan, and if we can we do we have a picture of it at all? The view it we don't. Yeah, we have right. Yeah. So when looking at this. So the green area is amendment number 2, and the red would have been the original. Mike, do you mind if you answer a few questions?
Sure. Would you like me?
Yeah, if you could, please, just to make sure everybody can hear. Thank you, appreciate that. And regarding, obviously, the original, where Lely is at, are they looking to try to expand in that area, or is that just you're using the urban renewal plan as itself, and that's the Lely, and eventually, you're just seeking those parcels to add it to urban renewal plan, I guess is how I should say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a brief explanation on this, Supervisor Johnner. As you may be aware, as the board is aware, in 2019, we created the urban renewal plan, and we had a very similar agreement at that time. The purpose of the urban renewal is to accommodate and financing of infrastructure for Lely's new North American headquarters in Pella. Subsequently, it's been a very successful project in our community. The valuation of the corporate headquarters is over $11 million. And there's been several new jobs that have been added within our corporate area. At the time, we invested about $2.5 million of infrastructure to allow that to happen. And Lely is located just south of exit 44 in the red area that you see originally down there as well. What's being proposed is we have two projects that we're looking to add that are infrastructure related. If you're familiar with Pella up there on Old Highway 163, we are looking to redo Old Highway 163 from East 16th Street to about 150 feet east of Pella Christian High. And then we're also looking at redoing 240th Avenue and Eagle Lane that abuts Pella Christian as well. The purpose of that is to install up-to-date infrastructure on that road. We have some additional storm sewer that we have to install as well. And so with that infrastructure project, that's one project that we are doing. The second infrastructure project that we have down Oskaloosa Street, that's somewhere between about a $2.5 million project. The second project that we have is the extension of Baseline Drive that would be in the Pella Sports Park, as well as the University Street extension project. The city council is looking to actually hold a public hearing on that project. That's scheduled for mid-March of this year. That's about a $6.5 million worth of infrastructure projects that we have. And so those are our two infrastructure projects that we have. The reason why this agreement is necessary is when you look at the Pella Sports Park, which is where the Baseline Drive extension would be to the north, is the southern 41 acres of the Pella Sports Park is in rural Marion County. And that's the biggest area that we're looking to add to the urban renewal plan. And in addition, right now, some of the University Street right-of-way is also located in rural Marion County. So those are the two areas that we're looking to expanding and seek the board's permission to add into the urban renewal plan. And Supervisor Johnner, you were correct, and is for the purpose of helping to finance infrastructure improvements in this area.
Mike, is those the two green areas? Is that more, I mean, you got the sports park area, but then on the other smaller green, is that more for commercial?
Yes, that is actually an industrial park that we have right now, and we're going to be installing what we believe infrastructure that's needed to allow that park to develop as well. So we're hopeful that will be a successful development.
Do you have any questions?
Well, no, it's just, for the general public, it may be a little confusing because it has nothing to do with Lady.
No, and I understand that, so. No further questions? Yeah, I have no issue with this. Yeah, so, entertain a motion for resolution 2026-23.
I move we approve resolution 2026-23.
I'll second.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Thank you.
Item number 4, board is courthouse break room. I had requested, after visiting with our facilities manager a little bit about courthouse break room. All of their buildings seem like they have an area for a break room, and so I felt that it was important. So, Mr. Nestaby, thank you for coming. And if you could please, just want to kind of talk about maybe a possible break room and option in which we have at the courthouse. Because I know we don't have a lot of space at the courthouse left. So.
We have 0 space left as of today. So no, we do, we cleared out an area down in the basement. So if you're in the basement, we're talking northwest corner, it's a decent sized room. It was predominantly used for storage for multiple departments. It gave us a great opportunity to purge more old useless things. So that's been cleaned. We redid the heat pump that was in it, painted the floor, touched up the plaster. So it is effectively ready with for a break room. If the board approves a break room, I will then spend the money on a refrigerator and microwave and coffee maker. But we have repurposed tables and chairs. There's already a length of cabinetry and countertop that is relatively old but in excellent shape that we'll repurpose in that room. Mainly trying to keep it on the cheap to make sure people use it. Because there's no sense spending a bunch of money on something if no one's actually going to go down there and utilize the breaker. So, but we do have a space. It is our last official space in the courthouse. So we can certainly turn it into a break room if you guys wish.
Okay. Just, I mean, and I don't know this answer. The refrigerator, do you think, will the people use it, you think? I mean, because I also don't want a refrigerator just sitting down there and it just sitting empty. I don't know. How many departments have like mini fridges in their areas that the departments are using?
I believe the treasurer's office would use it.
Okay,
We do have a dorm size fridge in our office, with all of the staff that now commutes, more than just in town to work. I feel like we could definitely use a bigger refrigerator. There's not enough space, especially if we do have some sort of food day or special occasion, where we bring other things. We just don't have any room.
okay. What do you think about a coffee maker? Do we think that like if we, because I mean, we have to supply coffee. I mean, and not everybody agrees on coffee, so I don't know if we just do like a Keurig or.
My recommendation would be just a normal coffee maker, and each department, if they want a specific coffee, they can provide their own coffee. That'd be my recommendation. I did not budget for the facilities department to provide coffee.
Okay, well, I didn't figure so, but I also know that people do, and I didn't
Absolutely, I'm a
know,
coffee snob, so I understand.
what people,
I'd say whatever you like,
Absolutely.
You think that we that much utilization?
I'd almost wonder about a Keurig because people just bring up their own little pot, whatever I bring mine from home, so.
Hook us up with ice. We don't care about coffee.
Yeah, so my plan would be a coffee maker with water dispensing and ice. I mean, we can easily run water to that room. That's not that big of a deal.
Ice is more important than coffee.
Yeah, so I would put a refrigerator in with an ice maker and water dispensing, water filtration, so.
that, I mean. Yeah, I don't know how much more. I mean, I know a cheap white refrigerator is pretty inexpensive,
Nothing's inexpensive.
but cheaper than as
That
long
is
as you
right.
feel like the amount of work and I guess this is a one-time.
I can take a
just
little
don't know.
Keurig head in our office downstairs if you want it down there, because we don't need a price.
And I think that's a good idea, because I think it's one of those things that, you guys as departments can kind of figure out. If we agree to just doing, a fridge, but and then doing a microwave, the rest.
Just a countertop microwave, nothing fancy. Just I do like the idea of it. I know, like Michaela said, we do have quite a few staff members that it's not simple for them to leave the courthouse during lunch break and go home because of proximity to work. So I absolutely have no objection to us doing it and finalizing the room. So
Can I also ask something else?
yeah.
Would it be, and okay, hang on, just a minute. Could it be that, if you just had like a regular refrigerator like that, and then you did one of those portable little ice machines, is that more feasible?
I would have no problem with that. The only problem is I don't want to have to replace an appliance every year, and those little portable ice makers are not extremely well built unless you spend the kind of money we would spend already putting one in a refrigerator that we would get 6 to 7 years out of. And the only reason I say that is I've already done the research. You would think maybe one of those little desktop ones would be great, but they don't really have a lot of good reviews on them, and they don't have a real long life expectancy because they don't have a replaceable filter, and we have hard water at the courthouse. So unless someone's going to take the time to descale that on a monthly basis, we're probably going to end up replacing that almost yearly. And my thought would be a refrigerator with a ice maker with a built-in serviceable filter to help that would probably be really good for us, because we do soften our water. We have 2 softeners at the courthouse, but even with 2 softeners, it's still pretty hard water.
Here in like the question, then I'll go to that one. So you do 1 for 1, that opens up, you've got other buildings.
Every other building has something. Like there's a nice break room in this building.
No, I know, I'm talking about ice machine in the refrigerator.
I think every
I don't think it's an issue here at this building.
Yeah, it's not an issue at the sheriff's office.
No, okay,
No.
do you get what I'm saying? I just don't want it to be that we're
fine.
selling one and.
No, it's not an issue for the sheriff's office.
3014 is also good.
What?
3014 is also good, not an.
As long as we can use your ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
As long as
Yeah,
everybody
we're
goes,
good.
downstairs
Yeah.
and uses this. The storm shelter question, it was brought to us by a citizen wanting to know if we can use that as a storm shelter too. Do we have people go to the basement the way it is? When.
courthourhouse basement.
Yeah.
Yes, technically the courthouse, it was designed, and the way it's built, obviously, we're talking 1896. We have 36-inch basement foundational walls. I know this because I've had to drill through them, and it's a lot of fun. But the basement of the courthouse would be utilized as a storm shelter in any event. And there's lots of open space down there that would be sheltered from the two entrance points on the east and the north that could be utilized. But this door is not, we're not going to have a lock on this door. This isn't going to be something that is going to be lockable. I mean, in all reality, I just don't think it needs to be.
Correct.
So.
We live in the Midwest, we go out and watch them.
When you say that, Chris, is it open to the public then? I mean, it's like, there's gonna be access.
Well, I can tell you in my 7 years here, the amount of public folks that have made their way down to the basement, I can count on one hand.
We don't need to worry about it.
I really wouldn't be all that concerned with it. I mean, I've got staff down there, their break room is down there, and their little office space. So I've never seen an issue with the public wandering around the basement. In all fairness, there's really nothing to see. Everything of value in the basement. So thinking mechanically, electrical room, the record storage that we have down there is all behind locked doors.
Okay.
It's a great question, Jason, but yeah, I don't see any reason why
Well,
we
the
need to
only
be
reason
concerned.
they would be down there being capable of weather incident.
Yes, there's nothing else down there, so, and nothing of value down there. Other than potentially ice at this point.
Well, I appreciate your willingness to find a room and be able to work on this. I am supportive of it. I just want to make sure that everybody's in agreement so that they're not picking one over another when it comes to the refrigerator. So, but yeah, I think utilizing it is important. So.
Yeah, as long as it's going to be utilized, I'm in favor of it. But I guess we'd have to see what the utilization is going to be. We're going to keep it.
And that's a great point. So, I don't want to raise the bar too high. Typically, we try to do really, really good work and make things look really, really nice. I'm not going to pour a whole lot of effort into the room. It's going to be clean. It's going to be painted. It's going to look nice, but we're not going to put new cabinetry or countertop in or anything like that. New tables and chairs. If it gets utilized really well, that's something I would consider down the road just to make it a little more comfortable place. But I really don't feel like we should have the expense of making it super nice right now until we know people are actually going to utilize the space.
Yeah, let's see what the utilization is going to be. But I agree with you, Chris. If it's going to be utilized quite a bit, then we can look in the future about
More comfortable chairs.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, Steve, if you're in agreement,
No, I have no problem with it.
Okay, just make motion to approve courthouse break room. You're willing?
I'll make that motion.
Yep.
I just did.
All right. Awesome.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs.
All right.
All right, thanks, board.
Appreciate it. Item number 5, board is Marion County Compensation Board FY 27 recommendation. Before us is the compensation board met January 14th. It's important that we receive and file this so that we can discuss further when it comes to budget. So that's why this agenda is on today. So if you have any questions, otherwise entertain a motion to file and receive.
I make a motion to receive and file the compensation board recommendation.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to let you know, the Attorney General's office yesterday issued an opinion on the Chapter 331 and some of the interpretation of that chapter, and I've emailed that to you. And since we were discussing this today, I just thought I'd let you know that once you get that, if you have questions, just let me know. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
McCombs.
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye. Item number 6, Marion County Treasurer FY 2025-2026 semi-annual report. Ms. McKenna, thank you. Board before us is July 1, 2025 through December 31, 2025. Again, we receive and file these reports, but I do think it's good that we have a snapshot. And Ms. McKenna, if you could go over that snapshot for us, looking at that.
Yeah, and that's basically what this is. This is a snapshot of all of the daily entries that are performed by the treasurer's office and the auditor's office. Every day, nothing in this report should ever be a surprise to the board or to the public. It's also released, all of these transactions also culminate in our monthly reports that you guys review every month. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. This report, we use this to balance back at year end, at fiscal year end, to make sure that everything that we've done in the treasurer's office balances with the auditor's side. And our external auditors go through this report fairly closely to make sure that what we're doing balances with the auditor's side and is able to be reconciled with our daily transactions.
No.
Kayla, I appreciate you and your staff, and I know there's a lot of due diligence when it comes to this. And I know the time that you guys spend in the auditor's office, and I will say other departments when it comes to the auditor, the outside auditors coming in. I know that takes, a lot of time, so I'm grateful. Marion County, we are blessed. We are blessed with a great auditor, treasurer, and just our department heads. We are blessed that we can all work together, and we are grateful for that. And we're just going over the audit just a little bit high level. I'm thankful that we don't have issues that have occurred in other counties. So thank you for that.
I agree.
I need a motion to receive and file. Steve.
Move that we receive and file the treasurer's semi-annual report.
With support.
Johnner.
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Item number 7 is resolution 2026-21. This is the canceling the outside auditor warrants issued prior to 6/30/24. Michaela.
So the next couple items are annual housekeeping duties that I bring to the board for approval. Per Iowa Code Section 331.554, we are required to write off checks that have not cleared, in this case on the auditor side. So warrants, expenses that we pay, that those checks are never cashed. They never make it through the banking system. They're still outstanding on our books as of June 30th of 2024. So this time of year, we will go ahead and reverse those entries, return those funds to the associated fund that they were originally expensed out of, and move forward.
Michaela, what if I'm curious because on one of these is a $4,800.
You are correct, $4,884. We did and typically we do kind of internal office policy, not required to do this. We will contact any vendor that has an amount outstanding over $500. Sometimes those checks have actually been replaced. Maybe the original was lost, we've replaced it, and then those funds will wash. In this case, we did contact that vendor because we didn't show a replacement check. That vendor checked their records and confirmed that they did not have an outstanding invoice for that amount or any outstanding funds due to them from Marion County. So at this point, based on their response, I really don't have any choice but to go ahead and write off that check. There's no mechanism in the code that allows me over a certain amount to not do that. So there is a vehicle in the code that should that vendor come back within the next year and request a replacement of that check, then we would be able to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate the clarity on that, Kayla. But I also feel that to be able to reconcile the books, it's important that we be able to, at times, be able to have that clean slate. So it's to unclear checks. So I have no issue with that. Again, we're going to approve the resolution or make a motion to approve the resolution of 2026-21.
We'll move we approve resolution 2026-21.
I'll support.
Johnner.
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Item number 8, resolution 2026-22, canceling outstanding treasurer's checks issued prior to 6/30/24. So we did the auditors, now we do the treasurer.
Correct. Same process. These are not expense checks as the auditors warrants are. These are basically refund checks that come from the treasurer's office. So many of these are, we received a motor vehicle transaction from a dealer. It was $10 long. We issued a refund check either to the dealer, that customer, and the check has never been cashed. So this is a very nominal amount, $189, just a culmination of those several checks that add up to that amount.
Problem with this, entertain a motion for resolution 2026-20.
I move to approve resolution 2026-22.
Split.
McCombs,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. On to item number 9, which is resolution 2026-24. This is the 2080 project agreement, City of Knoxville regarding Knoxville area pavement rehabilitation.
Yeah, so this is the 2080 project agreement with city for the project we discussed at the last board meeting, which you authorized $1 million of local option sales tax money. The agreement is fairly standard. We just did this, a very similar agreement with the city of Monroe for our joint project last summer. And in the past, we've utilized similar agreements for Old Highway 163 and the Volkswagen Trail with the city of Pella. So standard project 2080 funding distribution is $1 million of county and $450,000 from the city of Knoxville. 2 of the 3 road segments in the project include either 50-50 or 100% city of Knoxville share. So the funding agreement just clarifies the funding distribution based off of jurisdictional split. And project schedule would be, if approved today, then we would take this same agreement to the city on Monday, February 16th. Authorize bids at the next board meeting on the 24th and set the public hearing date with a goal of March 19th bid letting and award on the 24th with construction in calendar year 2026.
Tyler, we talked a little bit the last meeting, and I think we recently spoken, you and I. When it comes to lost projects like this, you do not have the funding in your current budget. I mean, these are projects that can help both Knoxville. And then last meeting, was there something in there about a project, hopefully in the future, with the city of Pella?
Yeah, there's another project in our 5-year program, which I've already talked with Public Works and Street Foreman at Pella regarding Idaho Drive. And there's a very small segment of 50-50 on that, but then extending that project into the city, similar to what we did on South Attica Road here as part of this project and on McKimber Street. So yeah, there are other joint projects on the horizon. If that's what you're asking. Yeah.
I do think it's important that we make sure that the public is fully aware, along with, those that are dealing with these projects, that Tyler utilizes our local option sales tax. It is something that, projects, this is how we're getting some road projects done, to be honest. We do not have the funding source without the local option sales tax to be able to do that. And so we are grateful. And we feel that this is good use of those funds. The board has felt that. And we are appreciative. In the future, I've also spoke about, we're looking at doing trails and hopefully to be able to bring economic development to Marion County and to benefit all would be, helpful to have some of this lost money to be able to do some trail system with too, and to go after some matching funds. But I know Tyler does a very good job about planning out, and I appreciate that. And so I don't have an issue with this, but I do want to make sure that, these projects, we're just not looking one-sided. We're looking, we've been trying to help, everybody that's involved too at the county level, when it comes to the whole, so.
Yeah, I think that segment on the west side of town is going to become fairly important, because I see that the city has probably got about $750,000 grant for their infrastructure.
Oh, right.
There's a lift station out there to help in the development of the veterans district, so that segment out there, to me, is going to be fairly important segment of the road.
Right, and we knew that that section of road got beat up pretty hard from the VA, when, demolition was being, happening in the trucks hauling.
Yeah, that's actually where this project was originally slated. It's been delayed a couple of years now. Because of demolition and then subsequent work.
Yeah.
Because of that.
All right, no further questions or concern or entertain a motion for resolution 2026-24.
I move we approve resolution 2026-24.
I'll support.
Johnner.
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Item number 10 is resolution 2026-25. This resolution is authorizing bids and setting date for public hearing for Junction 92 Engineers Office. Tyler.
Yeah, so this is for the upcoming letting for the concrete and structure of the engineer's office, again, which is a separate building. Part of the master plan of developing Junction 92 to be our kind of road department hub. The project does not include plumbing, electrical, or HVAC items. This bid would just be again for the concrete footings, flat work, and then the building structure and finishes, both interior and exterior finishes. The plan as a project estimate is $640,000 in total, including electrical and plumbing and HVAC items. So I estimate this to be between 500 and 540 for this share of the project. Timeline would be, if authorized today, we would immediately get bids, proposals out to prospective bidders, meeting all Iowa code requirements for publishing, and then having a public hearing, bid letting. So bid letting on March 24th, public hearing, approval plans and specs on the 24th. Bid letting on the 12th is the goal right now for all things.
And you're hoping your final completion date?
Final completion of October 30.
Okay. So that, I mean, a couple different things. I'm happy to see that the county will be the construction manager. I think that's important for the entire project. Also, the final completion date. So I guess depending upon how you proceed, but I mean, do you still feel like some of those buildings, some of the combination between the shops will be able, if the building is finished at Junction 92, the big building, then you'll still be able to move them, and then would you still be housed out here until October 30th?
Right.
Okay. But would part of your department be, do you get what I'm asking, or would you leave everything at Knoxville the way it is?
Yeah, we would move in part.
Okay.
And then just the engineer's office would remain up until completion of the office.
Okay, all right.
And we have tray ice, just in case anybody wants to know.
Oh, right. Even in your new building?
No.
Oh. But, yeah, Steve, this is more your wheelhouse. I don't know if you have any questions in regards to.
No, I'm very happy to see that we're gonna be running the show.
Yeah, with Chris's assistance. Right.
Things will go a lot smoother.
Yeah, I do think so too. In hopes that everything can be completed this year and have it all done. So, and then those buildings, will come, whether it be Clay or Ellis Shaw building in the near future, will hopefully, once you're moved,
Well,
this can be put up for sale.
the sale of those properties is gonna offset some of these costs, yes. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I was, on the ground floor of this when we purchased the property out there.
Is that 2004, 2006?
2004,
Yeah,
built the first buildings in 2006.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I thought it was 2004. So.
been a long time coming.
This says how long you've been around.
We've been around a long time.
Item number 10, entertain a motion for resolution 2026-25.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-25.
I'll support.
Johnner.
Yep.
McCombs.
Aye.
Did you say I didn't say I? Did you say I?
Mhm.
Aye. Just wanted to make sure.
I wrote it down.
You're good. I just, but we're talking, I think. On to item number 11, that's Board of Supervisor updates. Mr. McCombs, do you have updates?
I have a landfill meeting tomorrow, and I believe that at that time, we're probably going to discuss an offer for the EMS meeting tomorrow evening. And I had to cancel a DCAT meeting that I had for next week because of the budget session, so.
Do appreciate that. Yeah, just a reminder, next week, the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, we have set for budget meetings. Department heads, if you could just remind yourself of that and just kind of be attentive. If we can move things along, we will. So there is not like a set time schedule. It's just, I know that you guys have time slotted your days. But again, I just don't want to sit around and have idle time. If we can be productive, we'll keep moving forward. 217, we have Board of Health, and I have also EMA meeting. And then also just a reminder, in the near future, policy salary study will be going out to department heads to review. That will come from HR, and HR myself have been working on that along with Beth. And so we'll want you to review it and give us feedback, and there'll probably be a deadline on that to have it back. Otherwise, that's all I have. And take a motion to adjourn.
You adjourn.
McCombs.
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.